So excited. Victoria's Secret has looked great all qualifier long. Hunter x Hunter has also looked very, very competitive. We are finally jumping into our first battle between these two teams. It is Himmelsdorf with... oh no, I don't know which team is which. It looks like... we'll straighten it out.
We'll figure it out, guys.
When we hop into game. It is time for Himmelsdorf, our first battle between Hunter x Hunter and Victoria's Secret. Let's do it. Okay, gentlemen, here we go. It's Hunter x Hunter on the blue team spawning in the north, and it is Victoria's Secret on the red team spawning in the south, and we are seeing Victoria's Secret push towards Tank Alley. Kev, what are the tanks looking like?
See Hunter x Hunter heading to the hill with two AMX 5100s, an IS-3, a T-69, and a 3090. So pretty, yeah, you know, like interesting lineup to say the least, at least for this map. We have two autoloaders, 3 heavy tanks, just not really a composition I see all that often. Well, they're going to go up against an AMX 5100, 2 IS-3s and 2 T-69s, which I already think is a little bit more standard for this match. Even though the difference is small, it's there.
Yes, sir. No crazy aggression coming out. We've got the 2 IS-3s parked on the corners here near Tank Alley. And the rest of... Honestly, all Victoria's Secret is doing right now is they're sending their T1s to try and do some spotting. So no real commitment to anything. We see T-69 and an AMX 5100 kind of watching the hill. T-69 and an IS-3 watching Tank Alley. Tano Skywalker also in an IS-3 watching that open field in the middle.
Did you cast these guys
T1.
before, Ben?
Maybe. Yeah, I can't say that either of these teams have done anything that has truly made a mark in my memory. But obviously they've made it this far. They're both very capable teams to be sitting here in the round of 8. We'll see if they can make some memories this time.
We got an AMX 39 on top of the hill. Actually, one of the T1s died already for... oh, I missed that.
He went
that was Heliox who took him out?
He went up the hill and was shut down.
By this 3090. I did not know that. So that's a good little start over here for Hunter x Hunter.
It's a great start, I'd say, because it actually is really jarring for Hunter x Hunter, for Victoria's Secret, which actually, as you can see right now, has forced them to make some kind of move for the hill. They're going to try and grab Helix and see if they can maybe get him before he leaves the hill or something, or maybe they're expecting some kind of Hunter x Hunter hill aggression. They want to meet it, but it's Helix, of course, doesn't know this, and I hope he actually recognizes this soon enough to run, because there are 5 tier 8s coming to the hill for him.
I think he will. I mean, he's in a pretty good position. He can just back off a little bit, then at least he's going to get some cover from this little, well, you know, from these runes, I guess. There's no really other way to describe this. So he should be more than fine in getting out of here. Most important thing is, like, what is the rest of his team going to do as soon as he's going to identify the fact that, hey, there are a bunch of big tanks over here. Whoop. Well, nice reaction over here by Heliox. I love it. So quick.
Immediately ducking behind cover, but boy, he's got a lot of tanks giving chase, and he's going to have to run away, dropping down to just...
Oh, he got tracked.
Oh, that's no good, and down goes Heliox in that AMX 1390.
I expected him to get out of there with his quick AMX 3090.
Well, he can leave that corner, but there's no way he's going to actually turn around and leave while there are enemies just booking it towards him. There's not enough time. Oh. 1390 is fast, not that fast.
Do you also think maybe if he was reverse angled, that he would have been able to get out a lot quicker?
If he were turned around, yeah. But reverse angled would have been his front just stuck in his side down. If he were just turned all the way around, yeah, he might have been able to make it, but only if he booked it straight after seeing them immediately.
Yeah, well, he reacted really quick, but he still had to turn around. That slowed him down, of course.
There's a tiny window to get away, especially from the north, because from the south you have less distance between the edge of that rubble, where if you hug it, to the point where you'll spot the enemy come up, and stuff. It's better for the south to leave. The north, it's really hard.
Pretty big loss, but nice answer by Victoria's Secret.
Now there is no 8-point tier lead for either side, as Victoria's Secret up by 7 because they've lost that tier 1. So still no team enjoying a win condition.
But of course they are in a very good position to later on push the issue, because they took out the tier 8 tank and took absolutely zero real damage.
That is absolutely correct. So
Kind of weird to keep that 3090 on top of the hill for so long. Like, why is that not a T1, Randall?
I don't know why it's not a T1. I don't understand Hunter x Hunter strat, really. It's very reserved. Well, at least where it was. They're moving now, but where they were along the A6, between A6 and A8, was so far back that you had no real control. They weren't asserting themselves over anything on the map except with that 1390. Now they're going to move out of that as they've lost the 1390, but...
Yeah, they're just kind of resetting. They've gone back to the exact same positions we saw at the beginning of the game. They're sending their second T1 up to the top of the hill. This is Jim. No, not the Chinese superstar, guys. This is a...
This is real Jim, with a G. Maybe he is a G.
He's riding dirty, so he might be a G.
How do you know he's riding dirty?
Because he's in a T1 Cunningham and it's covered in mud.
I do not think that is considered riding dirty these days. Times have changed ever since you were part of Warfare.
Must be. His T1's going to check the top of the hill once more, and what will he see? Well, for the time being, it looks like nothing, because ain't nobody up here.
There's quite some movement over here. They're going to try to make something happen with these AMX 5100s and that IS-3 and the T69, which of course they're pretty much the entire Tier 8 lineup. I think they have to make something happen. If they're going to wait, eventually I think Victoria's Secret will just jump on them, because they know, like, hey, we got so much more potential DPS, we got more health points, because one of your tanks is down already. So, you know.
Check out this highly intelligent tank positioning from Victoria's Secret. IS-3's in front, T-69's in the middle, and then AMX 5100 with its high profile, able to shoot above everything in the very back. This is perhaps the only way you could arrange your tanks if you wanted all 5 to shoot on a single target.
Well, you might have someone block another person. That's why you would generally try and
I think they're going to try to cap.
But
I think Hunter x Hunter is going to cap immediately, and they might actually be able to do surprisingly well with this. I really like what they're doing with this, because if they were going to play this out like a normal game, eventually the other team would just jump on them. They're going to have a really rough time. Now they're going to initiate cap, and I don't think that they can get back in time, man. They can't get back in time.
It is 5 tanks. There's the cap, and what you going to do about this?
I think this is GG.
Oh, these tanks are so slow. Maybe, just maybe, Jim and that T1 Cunningham can get a couple of resets. It's going to be tough.
And you know what's really smart is that the Bolsino in his T1 is actually not carrying any capture points, but he is like put in the back like he is, so they might actually try to focus on this T1, which is not going to do anything.
Only 10 seconds left, and a Jim and this T1 Cunningham, the closest tank to the cap. Oh, there's no way. This is over. Hunter x Hunter is going to...
There would be like 1 second where Alan can get it.
Fast cap, that's gonna do it.
Aw.
Man, what a sneaky little bit of play. They lose their 1390 and still manage to turn it into a win just by outmaneuvering their opponents.
Beautiful move, and they had to make something happen, because if they would have just sit this out, eventually the other team was going to jump on them and they would lose out in the brawl. It's almost impossible to win 4 against 5. I mean, we've seen crazier things in the World of Tanks, but it would have been very, very hard to make this happen. So they're like, all right, we're going to try to make something happen. The T1 scouted all those tanks. They said, all right, immediately we're going to go to the cap. We're not even going to try to pick off a tank or something and turn this into a fight. We're going to sit on cap. And, well, fortunately for them, all those tanks were so far out of position. Gotta say, though, I think it's Victoria's Secret who lost this game rather than Hunter x Hunter winning it.
I completely agree, man. When you're up a Tier 8 tank and you've taken no damage, you got to go pick a fight somewhere. And in choosing not to do that, Victoria's Secret shot themselves in the feet multiple times. Bless you, Kev.
You cursed me.
I'm sorry.
I was about to it's like one of the most frustrating things in the world. When you have to about to sneeze and someone's like, bless you. It's like,
all right.
I know where you live.
We're going to take a break. We'll be back with battle number 2. All right, Roddy. It is all about the tanks. What are we seeing?
Here we go. 2 AMX 5100s, a T69 and a 3090 for Hunter x Hunter, and they're gonna go up against 2 AMX 5100s, a T32 and 2 T69s. That's interesting, because often when you see one T32 in this map, you see 2 T32s. You don't really see one T32 all that often. Or is that just me?
You're not alone. I would expect 2 T32s as well. They just work so well in tandem. But it's not a bad idea to bring T32 and 2 T69s. I mean, the T69s can kind of hull down behind the T32s hull down if he angles it right. I mean, it's not a bad plan.
I'm glad you're feeling me, Randall. What I'm also feeling is Heliox in his 3090 who already speeded to the top of this hill, so they have a little bit of hill control. He's able to, well, proxy scout is a big word, but to some degree it is.
Yeah, he's proxying that. That is 50 meters right there for anybody watching. 50 meters away from any tank, you will spot it. It doesn't matter what's between the two of you.
As these T-69s are trying to get shots on him, but it ain't happening. Great 1390 play thus far. The entirety of Victoria's Secret forced to kind of reveal their hand. And this now means that it's sort of on Hunter x Hunter to exploit what they know. They have almost perfect information. How are they going to use it? What should they be doing here, Randall?
I'd expect to see the light tank Heliox actually trying to get some kind of positional control. What he could do is he could try to spot the east side, or the most likely the east side, really, and or get some nice side shots on these tanks.
He's shots off on Alan. Alan is taking a lot of damage already in his T-69. He knows about it. Here comes the T-32. What the hell is going on?
This crazy push from Victoria's Secret. They're going to split up their tanks and go in two different directions. This looks like a mistake as Jim goes down. Tano Skywalker's trying to give chase to Tico in that T-69, but this is going to be a tough fight to make work. Tano dropping down to 1,100 hit points. He might die as well. Heliox up on the hill. He went down also, but guys, the tier advantage still resting heavily in favor of Hunter x Hunter. Tano is, he's at 1,100 hit points. He was just tracked. He does land a shot right in the side of Mad Max. Man. He sure is. He's going to have to try to retreat, maybe down the chute. No, he's going to try to back up to his teammates. This could be a mistake. Alan's going to come down the hill and try to help out his buddy by jumping on Mad Max. Alan going to drop to 78 hit points. One more shot, and Alan will go down. Misses a shot on Max. But Max is clipping. He can't return fire. Somebody needs to kill Alan, and it's going to be Lincoln coming up trying to assist. Alan clipping as well, man. Everybody's out of bullets. Nobody can shoot these autoloaders.
LPH is coming in. Might see a Goomba.
Oh, and Squash, sort of?
He is shooting Squash. Doesn't count. Doesn't count.
Oh my god,
points.
now Lincoln is kind of trapped, but Alan is so low on HP. He's surrounded by 3 tanks, so there goes one of them. What a close battle this is, but there's still 8 tier points ahead. Skywalker so low on HP. Lincoln has to take him out, and if he does it, okay, everything dies at the same time.
2 tanks go down at once, and Hunter x Hunter looking just as strong on the mines as Cazadores.
Yeah, that was... although that push by Victoria's Secret really, that was just
I'm sorry, but
that wasn't. I don't think that was a very well informed decision they made.
No.
Yeah, there was not. It wasn't more.
I think it was just too risky. Let's put it like that. That was something that could work, but the higher the level of competition is going to get, the less likely that something like that is just going to work. That T-32 was receiving fire from 3-4 directions. Yeah, that was too much.
The only time I've ever done that and won was when I knew I could outbrawl an enemy team, and I don't think you have that difference in skill here.
They were too split, man. That was 5 guys with 5 different ideas.
You do that with a talk, and then you cover the rest of your team.
Here we go, gentlemen, once again with Victoria's Secret spawning in the north and Hunter x Hunter taking up the south. Hunter x Hunter leads 2-0. Kev, what kind of tanks are we looking at?
We are looking at 2 IS-3s, 2 AMX 5100s, and a T-69 for Hunter x Hunter. They're going to go up against 2 IS-3s, 2 T-69s, and an MX 5100. So an almost mirror matchup. But one team has the 2 T-69s and the other team brought 2 AMX 5100s.
Spots already going down as both tanks look like they're trying to push the center line, and or both teams look like they're trying to push that center line. That's not something you see often.
Nope.
Yeah, I think we saw something like this yesterday, or maybe the day before, where a team tried to set a trap for, what was it? It was
I think it was
yeah, it could have been a relegation match, and we saw a trap get set for a team that was possibly going to go straight for the Delta Village, and it's something like that. Like I'm reminded that with that 2 IS-3 position, if you go look at that, Ben, something like that happened the other day, and it did not work. Just an unfortunate strat, but now we've got a strat that's interesting. I don't know how these two are going to work against each other, because it's one trap set against one very, very reserved position from Hunter x Hunter. I don't quite agree with taking the east side, especially the camping grounds, this village here, when you spawn in the south, it's just I don't feel like it's as flexible a position. I feel like Tico is on an island effectively. If his enemy were to surround him right now, I mean, he could get support from the IS-3s 5100s, but at the same time, he's still on an island to me.
Jim might actually die soon in this T1 little skirmish that we got going on over here between Estasis Vizla. It's going to be kind of hard to pronounce, and there goes Jim. Jim will go down. I must say, man, if you talk about great coverage or camo, this tank was really hard to spot. That camo matched very well with that little bush.
The T1 Cunningham of Jim's the only tank that's died thus far, and I think that's just going to further stagnate what is already proven to be a pretty much
Jim has a very tough clan war
standoff of a map, with neither team really looking like they want to show any kind of crazy movement.
Well, I definitely think that Hunter x Hunter wants to push the issue eventually. Don't you think so?
Well, they are up 2-0. I am of the opinion that they might want to just let this one draw out and perhaps move on to another open map, Steps or Proc, where we know Cazadoria's teams tend to excel.
They got so much potential firepower in this little lineup over here.
And they sure do. AMX 5100s, T69s, and a single IS-3. Oh no, two IS-3s. Pardon me.
Oh, one of the T69s is getting a lot of damage. So exposed in the middle of the map for no apparent reason. Alan gets spotted and already takes 400 real damage. This is just going to further and further put Hunter x Hunter ahead, as they already was able to pick up that T1.
Yep.
Now 400 health points up as well.
Alan got blasted, and they didn't even see anybody to return fire to, so that's a very unfortunate free exchange of damage that is going to favor Hunter x Hunter quite a bit. They are now effectively ahead by 500 hit points and a Tier 1 Cunningham, or a T1 Cunningham. A Tier 1 T1 Cunningham.
A little bit of both, man.
We could call it a Tier 1 Cunningham if we wanted to.
Yeah. You know what would be really cool? Like a Tier 8 Cunningham. Just
Oh,
like
that would be the sickest tank of all.
1600 HP, but the same gun, but then actually deals like crazy
It's
damage.
like a 100mm
Yeah.
machine gun.
Oh my god. Why did no one invent it?
Clearly it would be the best tank.
The T1 Cunningham was actually like the greatest tank ever made. It was just not ready yet for modern warfare, but it just needs a small upgrade. Man, that would be a crazy tank.
Not a whole lot of movement out of Victoria's Secret, and understandably so. These guys have their backs up against it. They cannot afford to lose. A loss here is the end of their run in this Season 2 qualifier. There will be a second qualifier taking place in just over a week, though. So nobody is out for good.
Oh, Alan was able to pick up the T1, which was Estasis, who was earlier able to pick up Jim. Now he ran into Alan, and Alan was able to pick him off. So those 400 health points that he lost were not for nothing.
There was a blind shot that went off towards Alan. Ben, did it hit?
I don't think it hit.
Nope. Alan did not take any additional damage.
Oh, that would have been so cool to see him hit like that.
He's still sitting at 949 hit points and feeling pretty good about himself after taking out Jim.
That actually gives a lot of control to Victoria's Secret. They could take the high ground in the east right now and just womp all over Hunter x Hunter. They would be in this lower ground where they have some buildings for cover, but the potential for great flank shots is so much in the favor of Victoria's Secret. They could take so much ground right now and just destroy Tico and probably get a few good hits on Lincoln or even Onizuka before Hunter x Hunter got a chance to try and respond to it.
I think Alan might have similar feelings to you, Randall, as he is moving around the zero line, getting down to about the F and G marks.
Not like that, Alan. Go take the outside road, then come back in further south, and you'll have great shots on Tico.
Maybe he just wanted to make a phone call.
Oh man, it's just so great though. Oh, he's got a spot. Who's he spotted?
It's Lincoln in that AMX 5100, and we will see shots. First shot misses. Second shot's gonna hit. Lincoln dropping 240 hit points there before his spot falls off.
Yeah, but he is tracked.
So Alan's gonna make another call to his girlfriend and say, hey, look out the window again.
Still sitting here in my tank. Wanna go for a ride, baby?
Hey, baby girl. I
Baby
got
girl, got a new
4
ride.
shots in my cannon.
What kind of ride do you have, homeboy? Well, go T69. That's one way to go to prom.
Great detail here. There is actually a little phone inside that phone booth.
Until tank drives over it.
What kind of phone booth still uses the circular dial pad, though? I mean, honestly.
Well, think of the time period.
Yeah.
Either that or it's a safe.
The one at Roomberg does.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Those old phones, they were so fun to play with though. When I was young, I used to spin it all day. And my mom was like, "Stop using the phone." It's so fun, Mom. Go play video games. No, I want to dial people.
It's a terrible vantage point from
You
this
sounded
phone
really,
booth.
really nerdy when you were a kid, apparently.
Oh, nerdy little kid. How do you think I ended up here talking about tanks? I love being a nerd, man.
Started playing with the phone, now you're here.
Yep. Started.
Started dialing strangers, now I'm here. Alan is no longer able to fire on anybody.
I'm actually really surprised he can't see Tico from where he is.
Maybe he's ordered a pizza. Oh, actually, there's another spot on Lincoln.
Wow. Lincoln has no camo value on his tank. Should really think about putting that in as a crew skill. Because he's getting spotted at incredible
To be
distances.
fair, it's an AMX 5100. It's like trying to camouflage a barn.
Well, it's still not that unsneaky. After the new camo
Are you
values,
sure that
it's
he's being spotted?
Well, he was momentarily, but he has since fallen off. Now, in the meantime,
I think that Tico might go for some blind fire soon.
the rest of Victoria's Secret has made their way into the city, so they're trying to reposition.
IS-3 got spotted
Oh,
by
actually,
T1. Now, right now, I think that actually Hunter x Hunter is going to move on the remaining tanks that were still in the middle of the map.
this might be
But
what they
there are no
need.
tanks over there.
I think this is a perfect time for Hunter x Hunter to move, as once again we find Victoria's Secret very split up and isolated.
I think we're going to see a fight between Tico and Edbo.
and he's
Oh,
throwing out
man.
shots, but nothing's hitting Tico.
Oh my god. Edbo's getting shots from like 7 different
Now
directions.
Tico gets lit up, but you know, Alan is here to help Edbo out. Unfortunately, I just don't know that this is the best fight for them to be taken. They are out here all by themselves. Edbo down to 296 hit points. One more shot and he's going to fall. Tico should have vision. Oh, terrible shot there by Edbo. Hits the grass. Tico's going to send one downwind. 16 hit points remain for Edbo. He will go down. That means Alan, the only tank standing up here, he's going to get a couple shots off on Tico. Will he take him out? That
He's
Tracks
tracked.
him.
And he will be able to finish him off. Good shots right there by Island. Very impressive. But at the same time, they're going to have to worry about their cap, as those two IS-3s are going to cap the red base. The blue base is being captured as well. It's just madness all over the place right now.
hard to say who this is going to favor.
I actually think that Victoria's Secret might be able to win this one.
It will be a little bit close. IS-3 sitting on the flag. If there is a reset, that's going to be terrible. Lincoln is coming back in his AMX 5100. All he has to do is reset. And
T1 is going to try to spot for him over here as well. There are 20 seconds remaining for the blue team. I think they might be able to get it.
is Lincoln clipping? Why? Oh, T1's going to actually get a couple shots off and try to distract these IS-3s, but they
he
are
can't
way
pen.
too disciplined for that. And oh, Lincoln takes a big shot,
But
but
he is able to
manages
reset.
to return fire and reset. That's going to buy the time that Hunter x Hunter needs. Can Lincoln do it one more time? Oh, he's got to be so careful dancing on that corner. Blue base is still being captured faster than the red base. This would favor Victoria's Secret. That T1 still
T1.
trying to distract.
And he is actually, one of the turrets is pointing back right now.
T1 trying to buy time. He's going to ram the IS-3, but it's not going to matter.
Lincoln is missing really big shots. He's not able to reset. He was shooting,
and
but
that's
he
going to
missed.
be a cap for
Wow.
for Victoria's.
No, it was a draw?
What?
Battle time expired. Oh my god, did the clock run out?
I think it might have.
I think the clock
I
ran
think
out.
we are going to have to pull up the instant replay, guys. So please bear with us. We're going to take a short break, and we'll come back with a replay of those final moments and a ruling on the map result. Don't
I
go
did
anywhere.
not pay attention to the clock.
And we have an official ruling on that last game that we're also confused about.
We had close calls and we had very, very close calls. And
And none of them came closer than this.
no, I think we should just take another look
Randall,
at
are
it.
we in a place where we can take a look?
Yeah.
All right, so hopping over to Randall's screen. Here are the final moments of that last battle.
we're in the last 3 seconds,
Very,
guys.
very final moment.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and 0. And you can see that there is no tier lead. There is no official cap. The map is officially a draw. So we will move on to our fourth map with Hunter x Hunter leading still 2-0. That makes this fourth map a must-win map for Victoria's Secret. Lose or draw, and Hunter x Hunter will be the team that advances.
If it would have been like an additional second, the blue base would
Now,
have been
if,
really
there,
captured.
if there are a couple more seconds and the blue base is capped,
A
and it's
half second
officially a
maybe.
win for Victoria's Secret. Unfortunately, that's not the way the game works. There is this sort of buffer
Hidden-
time that
hidden
exists.
buffer.
It says you've got a couple of seconds to land a shot, and in that couple of seconds, the map expired. And that is the reason that we have a draw.
I've seen close finishes, but this one was the closest.
That
so
is,
far.
it doesn't get any closer than that, and I'm sure Hunter x Hunter is elated because now win or
I mean,
draw,
you
and they
cap
have
at 0
advanced.
points and you have a 70-point advantage, or at 0 seconds left. That's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah,
You
that's-
can't really, it can't really get more unfortunate than that.
No. Anyway, our next map is Steps. Let's not waste any time. Let's jump into this fourth and potentially final map in this best of 5. Okay, gentlemen, here we go with Steps, which will be very possibly our final map in this best of 5. Roddy, how the tank's looking on this open map?
An AMX 5100, surprisingly, 2 T69s and 2 AMX 3090s, so a full all-in lineup. 4 Hunter x Hunter. They're going to go up against an IS-3 on Steps, a WZ-132, 2 T69s and an AMX 5100. So pretty interesting lineups. Not the lineups we always see on this map.
Bizarre choice from Victoria's Secret to take what appears to be a pretty slow, immobile tank lineup onto what can be a very fast, aggressive map. That said, they are not playing it slowly. We see everyone moving up the field along this eastern ridgeline as if they want to apply some sort of pressure to Hunter x Hunter.
AMX 3090s having a good time, making donuts and spinning around. Both of these AMX 3090s or 3090s are having a really good time, just like.
Well, they should be.
Cruising
Hunter
around.
x Hunter enjoys every possible advantage here. They have very fast, highly mobile tanks, a lot of firepower, and the luxury of a 2-game lead. So a single win, a single draw,
Look at these tanks
and they
bouncing
advance to tomorrow.
when they're like driving through the ocean. They're like, wee, bounce. It's like a dolphin, you know, when it just gets unleashed in the sea. It's like, wee, wee.
You just have to be careful not to run into a floating buoy as they're jumping up out of the water, because that would be bad.
Or an IS-3.
Or an IS-3, or perhaps this WZ-132 of Allen, which is sprinting up the field to try and do some spotting. This is a very similar push to what we saw the Pub Stars make earlier today against the Cazadores. So very interesting how these things seem to come full circle.
Yeah. WZ-132 behind the cap.
Yeah.
Such a versatile tank. I really like it. What do you want to say, Randall?
I've actually noticed every single WZ-132 that I've seen today has mounted the 85 mil. No, wait. There was one. I think there was one 100 mil. That
Ooh,
was.
Allen, don't track yourself.
That had to be Pub Stars, I think. But we've had almost everyone goes for 85 mil.
Some sloppy driving from Allen, not able to
Yeah.
get his WZ-132 into position. He's lucky he hasn't been spotted because he would not last long stuck on this hill.
He might be able to pick up both T1s pretty soon, though, Ben. If he wants to expose himself, I think he's able to kill both T1s before he gets into real trouble.
Well, he has given up on this approach. Does spot Bocino.
And Viva la, or Vizsla, Estasis Vizsla, it's like, I touched the bullet over there. That was a WZ-132, very close to me. Actually, one of the T1s did get picked off. Bocino did die.
Yep, to the fire of Edbo. So Allen lights him up. Edbo shuts him down. That's a great job taking out one of the eyes of Hunter x Hunter. That said, Victoria's Secret's going to have to do more than that as we see them repositioning very aggressively, sending everyone back up.
Still, how are they going to attack with this IS-3 in their lineup?
It's going to be tough.
I
Maybe
mean, they're
they're
gonna have
planning.
to attack.
Maybe they're planning to get into position and shove that IS-3 out in front. to
Once
absorb
more,
a few
guys,
shots.
we are playing a best of 5, but there is currently a 2-0 lead, and we're already in map 4. So this, even if this would go to map number 5 and this would be a draw, there's no reason for us to play map number 5, because the best that Victoria's Secret would be able to do is lose with a 2-1 score. So they have to win this map. A draw is not good enough.
Something
Must
interesting
win.
now. I see 1390s heading up to the northwest now from Hunter x Hunter. Looks like one of them's going to head north. Actually, the other breaking off back to the south.
Heliox is kind of like the Kufo of Hunter x Hunter. He's very risky. Sometimes perhaps a little too risky. 'Cause I feel
like
he's
it.
getting too ahead of himself.
I
What do
like
you want
it.
to say, Randall?
I like it.
You love it?
I love it. I love that aggressive scout play. It gets stuff done. It does. You can be aggressive or you can be really passive, but you'll get more stuff done if you do aggressive right.
But if you're playing with fire, Rendo, you eventually get burned.
Yeah, but you know, eventually you also learn to deal with fire.
Speaking of getting burned, Alan hasn't taken his foot off the gas in this WZ-132. He is booking it around the top half of the map, trying to reposition and perhaps find some indicator that Hunter x Hunter is on the western side of the map. He hasn't managed to spot anybody yet, but he is still on the hunt. This WZ-132 making great time crossing the map, trying to light up some enemy tanks. WZ-132, it's a great little light tank, man. Whoa, a little crazy there, Alan. That rounded turret means that it's very hard to penetrate, but the hull is quite soft in comparison to some of the other tanks in the Chinese line.
Yeah, the thing about the WZ-132 is in actuality most of its armor is really rather...
Whoa, hello!
Hey, Alan gets spotted by these two 3090s, and he's actually a little bit out of position, man. I think this WZ-132 is in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble.
This is a 2v1.
Yeah, I would say so, as Alan forced to take evasive maneuvers, but it's not going to matter. Onizuka and Heliox make short work of that WZ-132, and Alan is suddenly the single reason why Victoria's Secret finds themselves down 8 tier points. So
7 actually, but it doesn't matter because the draw is not good enough either, so they can't look at tier points. They're gonna have to win.
Now I like that Victoria's Secret has taken what they acquired from Alan's play, that is information, and used it to push on this position of these 1390s, Titano, Skywalker, and the 10th. But they have not been able to relight those 1390s, and Hunter x Hunter just dropping right back. They're going to play this completely defensively. They know exactly what's on the line and know precisely that all they have to do is let that clock tick down, and they will advance on to the semifinals tomorrow.
We'll have to stick together. The entire team from Victoria's Secret right now is on that west top side of the map, but they're gonna really have to just engage full on and somehow be able to completely outbrawl their opponents, which is going to be so tough. I mean, one of the tanks did take a little bit of damage. I believe both of them actually took damage, yeah. So, you know, even though the WZ-132 died, he was able to put out 600-700 damage in total, which is, you know, it's something.
Yeah, he softened up those 1390s, so they're not...
I mean, in total, this is together like 700-800 damage.
Yeah.
It's going to be very hard, Victoria's Secret, but not impossible. It's not like there are 5 full HP tanks waiting for them. Certainly if Hello... I don't understand why Heliox is keep playing so risky. I mean, this is a beautiful scout, don't get me wrong, but if he gets picked off, then we're back to even.
Well, the escape route for him is forward, actually, right now, if he gets caught out.
Oh, the 10th getting spotted by the entirety of Hunter x Hunter, and he's going to take a lot of damage, losing 500 hit points immediately, now dropping down to 780 hit points. Just a couple more shots, he will go down. Another great shot from Tico, and the 10th trying to aggressively push is not having much luck. He's now down to 269 hit points, perhaps one shot from death. Up comes Edbo. He's going to try to block for his teammate.
The best thing they could do right now is just retreat and try to pick up that tier 8. Because that tier 8 is still out there on the other side of the map, which is of course being played by Heliox. Right now, Hunter x Hunter lost entire vision. Heliox was able to pick up that T1 near their flag, so he might actually just start capping, or he's just going to run around the map and make sure that he stays out of hands. That was a beautiful engagement, of course, once more. For Hunter x Hunter, they were able to put out so much potential DPS.
Tico in that 69 is going to light up Edbo. Oh, to the 10th, dropping to 7 hit points. He's almost certainly going to go down. One more shot, and that's the end of that IS-3. And he does get picked off. Tico absorbing quite a bit of damage in the exchange. Tano Skywalker has dropped to 8 hit points just like that. And it is looking very grim for Victoria's Secret. A minute 30-second remains. And here comes Onizuka. Crazy aggression in this 1390. He's going to pick off that AMX 5100 and continue circling. Edbo taking a lot of fire. Tico ends up picking off that T69, and Edbo, the last man standing, is almost certainly going to fall. He does go down. Great play from Hunter x Hunter. Miser Keen, the last tank alive. He's in this T1 Cunningham. He'll initiate cap.
But for how long?
Well,
and
not very long at all, because here comes Heliox, the T1 killer. Boom. That does it.
GG, the Cazadores are on fire today. Not just their main team making it into the semifinals, but Hunter x Hunter is going to make it to the semifinals as well. In my opinion, pretty convincing fashion. I felt they were the better team this quarterfinals.
Great day for Latin American tanks players. Onizuka, man, he put on a show. 16 shots fired, 12 of them managing to penetrate for 2,227 damage in that 1390. That's a great performance from him. The rest of the team combining, obviously, to clean up the rest.
And I think Heliox deserves the Trailblazer award for today.
Man, he was
was
putting on some miles. Managed to pick off both the T1s. Did a lot of great spotting. Aggressive scout play is what Randall was talking about. And look at what happens when your aggressive scout play pays off.
And certainly with a little bit of backup that he got from his other 3090 buddy, Onizuka, picking up that 132, that's where it all started. That's when things really went into favor of Hunter x Hunter, who, in my opinion, once more just looked like a more solid team.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the way they were playing this entire time. It was very good, and I liked, especially on open maps. I felt it was much better on open maps. When it was on closed map, Hunter x Hunter, I mean, they got away with him on Himmelsdorf with just taking advantage of their opponent's position, less about the way they performed in a fight. So on open maps, it looked really, really great. I loved it.
Yeah, 1390 is really starting to establish themselves as that premier tank for many of the maps that we play here in the WGL. I think the story of this qualifier has been great 1390 play. I can't think of a single memorable battle that didn't include some phenomenal 1390 play.
That's probably why the 1390 is my favorite light tank right now. As far as tier 8s, you got 1390 or you got WZ-132 for many people. I say the 1390. It's just so great.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think the 1390 outperforms the WZ, not just because of the autoloader power, but it's just such a quick little tank, low profile, easy to hide in bushes. That WZ-132 is a little bit beefier, maybe not necessarily easier to spot, but it just doesn't feel quite as mobile to me.
They're both incredibly fast. It's just, I think it comes down to a lot of the damage output that you can expect out of the WZ-132. Now, the WZ-132 with the 85, you got great damage output on average, but the thing is, with 1390, you have this amazing burst, and the burst is sufficient to destroy most tanks you're going to run into if you can land every shot. Especially on open maps where you're going to see T-69s, other 1390s, and WZ-132s. It's just going to trash those tanks.
Yeah. Well, killer play nonetheless from Hunter x Hunter, the second Cazadores team to move on to the semifinals, setting up the potential for a Cazadores Hunter x Hunter final in this qualifier. That would be very, very fun. For now, we're going to get ready to head into our next break. Our next match is going to be EC versus Refuse to Die. Two Season 1 teams making their return here. They were dropped from the league for being in the lower half of the standings, but they're both trying to get back in. Refuse to Die with a new attitude, a fresh outlook on their strategies are looking very strong. EC, I think it's safe to say that
they've lost a couple of players, didn't they?
They've lost a couple of players, and maybe they're missing a little bit of that magic, but they are piecing it back together. I think Gomes is doing a good job rebuilding his squad.
Who did they lose again?
They lost the Dodd.
They lost the Dodd?
They lost the Dodd. Without the Dodd.
For the people at home, who is the Dodd?
He's the Whiskey Dodd.
Okay.
And according to you, he's the Destroyer of Dragons, Roddy.
Whiskey Dodd will be playing later tonight as he has moved over to Sympasaurus Rex, another team that is still alive in this qualifier. So much great tanks still to come, guys. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a break. When we return, it will be Ermagerd Kernaverns versus Refuse to Die.